Hello everyone and welcome. Today's video is all about organisation, specifically how I categorise and organise my stamp sets. This video is part of the Creative Design Team's YouTube collaboration, and we are all talking about organisation this week. So there will be a variety of organisation topics that will be covered. For me, I'm just concentrating on stamp sets, and I might bring in my dies and thin cuts as well to show you what I do with those. Now I've just got these ones out in front of me here just so that I had something down on the desk to talk to. The photo that you are looking at now on the screen is an IKEA cabinet that I purchased quite some time ago. I don't think that one's available anymore. I haven't seen it there the last few times that I went in, and the white boxes specifically fit inside those 9 little pigeonholes there, and they're wonderful because they fit my stamp sets and I'm able to put them sideways and have 2 rows, and then I've got them all categorized with how I like to sort my stamps. Now everybody's brain works differently, so what works for me may not work for others, but hopefully you'll get some ideas on how to sort your stamps if you're going through that process, and it could be a jumping off point. I know I could refine it a lot more, but this is what works for me. So I'm going to clear all of these away and I'll start bringing in the boxes, and then I have a couple of other organizations bins that I use depending on what I'm working on, and I'm going to bring those in and talk to you about those as well. So I'll be back in just a moment with the first box to go through. I have 4 of these boxes that I've put together, and as I said, these were just from IKEA. I'm pretty sure they're not available anymore, but the video that I'm doing today is not necessarily about the storage that I have. It's more about how I categorize and sort my stamps. Now, I have labeled these on the front of the box. So this box here contains greetings, project life, and occasions. So I'm just going to briefly talk to you about the categories. Greetings is fairly obvious, and how I've made these little dividers actually came from the packaging of these boxes. So I cut just with scissors a piece down the middle to separate each side, so that goes down there, and then I've just used a label maker to put on the cardboard piece. It's not fancy, they're not cut all straight, but this works for me, and these are quite sturdy, and it's really good to be able to just flip through what I need. I try not to overstuff them too much. If these get too full, it's time for me to go through them, have a sort, and decide what I'm going to keep, donate, put in my sale box, because I run in-person workshops, so I am able to put out product for sale. So greetings is the first one, and this is pretty common. It's all the greetings that are there. They could be birthday, they could be Merry Christmas ones contained within something like this, but I don't specifically file them by genre. It's just all the greetings and they go in there. And of course, when they have the thin cut sets, they go in here as well. So all of these are greetings. Sometimes it's a card making workshop kit. I know that there are other things here. I might end up putting this one in travel, I think, because I do love the actual postage stamps and I will be traveling soon, so I think I'm going to take this one out and put it in the travel section. But then these are easy to flip through. There's sentiments in here that go on the inside of cards, and some of these stamp sets are quite old, but they're my favorite ones. This one was a stamp of the month and I love the way it goes all the way across here. So I have my definite favorites here, and so it's not all about birthdays. It can be sentiments that relate to sympathy or thank you cards, or even just a note to send to someone. Then I have a little subcategory for greetings that's called occasions, and these are themed. I've put a coffee stamp set in here because that would be something that I could use for Mother's Day or put a gift card in, and I don't really have a category for this one to go in, so it could be a birthday card as well. But I put it into occasions because it is a specific stamp set of images. Mother's Day is in here, and also Father's Day, and it's not just for card making, it's also for scrapbooking. So I don't separate things out between cards and scrapbooks. Everything goes in these boxes underneath these categories. This stamp set here, I did quite a few Father's Day cards and male birthday cards with this, and this is quite an old set. I never thought I would get into stamping because I really didn't like it that much and I didn't have much success with it, but when Close to My Heart came to Australia Australia 10 years ago, and I attended their launch event and discovered their clear blocks that have the grooves in them so that they're comfortable to hold in your hands, and also the photopolymer stamps. I was in love with it. I could not stop stamping. So over 10 years, I've collected quite a few. So this one is going to go into my travel box. I'm just putting these aside. So while I'm talking to you, I'm actually doing some sorting. So these are definitely going to stay in the occasions. This category here is PML, so Picture My Life or Project Life. So what I've got in here are all sorts of different things that would relate to generic scrapbook pages. If I wanted to put the days of the week on there, or these little arrows with titles and things within them. They're very good. I love putting these sorts of things on scrapbook layouts. All the little icons, the months of the year are in here. Any pocket card type or journaling type stamp set will go in here, because I know with how I've worked all this out that these are good generic stamp set collections that will make it onto any scrapbook page. So I just noticed at the front of this, I've got another one that I think I'm going to put in my travel section. I love this Insta frame and the little icons. The date is in here, and also this world map. So I know I'm going to use that. So I'm going to put that one aside. But you can see this has room to move, and I will go through when I get new stamp sets and go through these and decide what I'm not going to use anymore and freshen up the box, take out the old ones, put them in my sale box and put the new ones in here. So let me bring in box number 2. I think I need to go through this one a bit. This one's a little bit heavy. So the first category I've got here is summer. Now I have a confession. I had to get a new label maker, and I was hurrying today trying to get some new categories labeled, and I can't work out how to make the fonts all the same size. So I need to sit down and have a look at that, because obviously travel printed out at a decent size, but this one here, block patterns, that's tiny. So I need to make them a little bit bigger and work out how to do that. But it's not just a case of pressing all the little buttons. I've got a Brother P-Touch cube, so I have to work out the technology behind getting it to work. But I wanted to have these labeled today to show you. So with travel, I actually split it out into a subcategory, and I've got summer. A lot of summer vacations, and also because I live fairly close to the beach, and these stamp sets can get used quite a bit in this category. One thing I did want to show you, and I think Erin has shown you on her video, which is already aired, quite often when I'm stamping and I do some extra ones, I will put these images back inside the stamp envelope so that they're ready for me to use on a project if they fit in with what I'm doing. What I do love about our stamps is that they come in their own storage envelope, and I love the size of this. If you have other stamp sets in your collection that are not close to my heart and you want to make everything look orderly, you can order these plastic envelopes separately. So it's a really good way to store everything, and it makes it easy to flip through everything when they're the same height rather than having different heights. Now the other thing that's great about our stamp sets is that each stamp set comes with this little, oh, I've bent this one a little bit, this foam sheet here. So if you've got everything all over your Versamat, I know you can flip your Versamat over so you've got the foam side, and that's a really good surface to do stamping on. But each of our stamp set has this foam sheet, so you can use that as your sponge little piece to do your stamping on. And when we have thin cuts or dies, they all come with their own magnetic sheet, and they're all separate, so you don't have to cut them apart to use them. They're ready to go, and having their own magnetic sheet means that they're going to stay put. So I think that is another good reason to get close to my heart products. The stamp sets are best quality stamps I've ever used. Right, so here's my travel section, and I've got all sorts of different travel stamp sets in here with icons and things that have phrases in them that work really well. So I've got these ones that I pulled out of my greetings and also my occasions and PML ones. I'm going to put them in there so that all my travel ones are together. I have another category here for nature. So this is anything to do with nature at all. This is a bee set, the lovely large bee that I've got. I've kept them all together. And then the dragonflies. I could sort all these so that the butterflies, the bees and the dragonflies were all together, but when I pull them out, I just want to put them back away. I don't necessarily have to sort them all again. I've got florals in here and leaves, gardening type things. So anything to do with nature will go into this category. Now, these two categories here at the the back, I did split this up. So I have backgrounds and swirls. This one here could be categorized as nature because it's got the floral, but what I will use this to stamp more for is a background piece. So that's why it's filed into the backgrounds. I've got a lot of these textured type stamp sets, so they're all in here. I need to go through these and do a little bit of culling. Anything that is like a circle element or has a swirl sort of element on it, that will go in here. Although this could be filed in the Project Life category because of these great sayings as well. So once you file something, you can move them around. And the other thing I wanted to show you that's in this category, stamp sets like this that have a lot of arrows and designs on them, they go in here. And fun little things like this that have icons and then this loose circle, that will go in my backgrounds and swirls. I've made a little subcategory for block patterns, and this one here has all these sorts of images in it. So wherever there's a pattern, these are great to stamp on circle elements or square elements, or even to stamp lightly first and then do an outline letter over top, or use your die cutting machine to cut out letters with. So anything that relates to that sort of a process is in this category. Even these border type strip ones here, they're going to go into block patterns. The other thing I wanted to mention with the stamp sets, if you've got old ones, we have this fastening closure on the back. Now you can remove this, I've seen people do that, but what I generally do is just rotate everything around so that they're not back to back and they don't take up quite as much room, and that reduces the bulk. The other thing that I do is take out the sleeve that's in here. So in each of our stamp sets, you get a sheet like this that tells you about the care of your stamps. But if I had all of these in here, it would take up a lot of room. So I take those out. The exception being the ones that have die cuts, I leave those on there because the images are on the front, and the blue outline also shows that there is a thin cut or a die cut with it. And having this branding at the top, I know just by looking that these are the sets that have the metal dies with them. This is the third box for the category, and this is all one category, as is the next box as well. I'm pretty sure you can guess what the last box I'm going to show you is. This one is all for kids or children. So I have an animals category, so anything with cute little animals on there goes in here. This one here has a die cut, but it's a little bit larger, and I can't fit it inside the stamp set. So I am going to cut this one down because that's what I normally do, and I'll be able to put it back to back and within the stamp set here, and I'll just move these around so that they fit. I don't normally keep the die set separate from the actual stamp image. If it comes on a bigger magnet sheet, then I do cut those down. The other thing that I wanted to show you, because I noticed on this one, this little set here, sometimes I write on a post-it note all the ideas that I think I might like to do with this set. So if I'm ever stuck and I can't think of anything to do, I can pick out a set like this and just start crafting because my ideas are already written down, and if I don't write them down, sometimes I forget them. This one also has another subcategory for baby, and you're going to see my exception to the rule. This is where I get a little bit messy sometimes. So all of these sets in here are definitely baby type themed stamp sets, specifically for newborns. I know that I can bring out a stamp set like this and use it for a newborn card, but these have specific newborn themes to them. And then, you know how I said before that when I do some extra stamping, I usually put the elements into the stamp. That's not always true. Sometimes I just play around and things don't quite make it onto a card. I should make a card out of that one, especially as it's summer now. This was a little watercolouring effort. So sometimes I just throw them in the box where the category is. I might put them in a little Ziploc bag to use at another time. And I've got quite a few of those, so I need to do some sorting. And then the rest of the stamps at the front here are things like transport, and I love this little combi van. See, when I start looking through my stamps, I start getting ideas of what I should be making and what I can do. Fairies, I've got a little gnome set in here. Anything to do with books or school, that all goes in this children's box. So have you guessed what the fourth box is going to be? I'm pretty sure 100% of you got this right. This is Christmas. So it looks a bit light on at the moment because Christmas is the one that I really have to turn over the stamp sets. I put a restriction on myself. I'm not allowed to purchase any of the new ones when they come out until I've gone through my box and decided what I'm going to cull. So this one actually does have some more sets in it. So I'm just going to put this off to the side a little bit and bring in a fridge bin. Now this one is just from Kmart. It's actually got wheels on the bottom of it. This has all Christmas in. Now some of these are brand new. The reason why I do a sort like this, especially for Christmas, is the creative design team have a 31 Days of Christmas card event in October, and then in November and December, some of you might know, I do Tag Tuesday for Christmas. So I keep all the Christmas things, all the new ones, and some of the old ones where I might love the actual sentiment that's on there or think I might use it. I don't always do videos with brand new products, and I don't always do workshop kits with brand new products. Sometimes I bring in an old favourite to mix in with something new. So all of these, now that Christmas is done, I left them all in here so I could show you, can go into my Christmas box, and when I see the new catalogues, I will be able to decide what out of here I don't need anymore because I do need to make up some room. So I'm going to pull these out on camera with you because there are a couple of stamp sets in here that aren't going to go in the Christmas box. This glistening alphabet, it's very Christmassy, but I have somewhere else for that to go because I haven't showed you how I store my alphabet stamp sets. So I'm just going through all of this, having a little flick, putting the stamp sets in here. The smaller ones, they just slide down at the front. I'll take those out for now. This alphabet stamp is specific to Christmas, so that's going in the Christmas box. This one was in one of the Christmas catalogues, but it could be used for anything, so I'm going to put that aside. And I'm pretty sure the rest of these in here are all specific to Christmas. So I'm just doing a little flick through. And yes, so I can take all of these out, put them in my Christmas box. I hope this isn't making too much noise on camera for you. Oh, and this is something else I do. So I have tags pre-cut ready for my Christmas Tag Tuesday videos. These ones didn't actually make the cut, but I know I'm going to do something else with those later and show you the process on camera. What I normally do is put all the tags that I'm cutting in this box. So this becomes like my Christmas workbox. Anything that I have made and think I'm going to use for it gets put in this box at Christmas time. So I'm just going to slide these in here and put the little ones at the front. And what I use this box now for the rest of the year is it's my one that I take to workshops that I'm either running or attending, because I can put projects in here to do. So if I want to do some colouring or something like that, I can put those stamp sets in here. There's another Christmas one. And I can put the colouring mediums I'm going to use in here and some cut paper as well. So basically, all I need to do is take this box, and I usually pre-stamp before I go. So what I normally do is have some 6x6 pieces of cardstock cut that I pre-stamp ready to colour in, because I know when I'm running a workshop I don't necessarily get a whole project done, but sitting there and colouring in the quiet moments means that I can still get things done while I'm attending a crop. Okay, so this one I'm going to put aside because I think this one's going to end up being a travel box soon, so that everything will be in here that I'm going to use. I also put dies in here, so my circle dies, any sort of frame dies or any alphabet dies or thin cuts, they can go in here as well. So everything is in the one box ready to use. So let's move this empty one out to the side and I can put my Christmas box away. So they're the 4 boxes that I've just gone through that are in that cabinet that I showed you a picture of. I do keep some things in fridge bins, in clear fridge bins. This one here has all my alphabets, and when appropriate I will have a die in here as well. This is one of the stamp envelopes that we stocked, and I've cut up the magnetic sheets so that they all fit inside one envelope. So all of the alphabet stamps that I have go in here. So now I can add these 2 in as well, and I think it might be time to make some decisions on this one. I do like to be able to flick through them so that I can see them easily, but there are little ones here that I know come in really handy. I used this one just the other day way. And I've also got number ones in here as well. So these are all past alphabet sets. You might be wondering what I do with current stamp sets. The current stamp sets live on the corner of my desk. This is all current stamp sets or ones that I know I'm going to be using in workshop kits. So anything that is brand new that I know that I'm going to be creating with, that all goes in the front of this. So anything that is brand new, the Operation Smile, this one's available all year. All these other ones now we have a 2-monthly catalogue, so you need to keep on your toes and look at them for favourites. But these aren't all brand new ones out of the new catalogue. This is all I've got here. I was starting to think, oh my gosh, I do have a lot. So these are all the ones that I need to do something with for workshops, to play with myself for my own projects, and also to do YouTube videos. And there's a special running at the moment, and I only just got this the other day, so I haven't even taken it out of the packaging. This one's Love Notes, so that has this gorgeous little bear. And I'll just open this and show you because I can. And these are the die cuts that come with it. So there's the little bear. It's actually bigger than you can see on the front. You can see he's quite large. And then there's this gorgeous envelope and a few other icons there. So I've actually just put those in a bag together. I need to start making some things with those. And the other stamp sets, as I said, I'm still working on projects with these, but then these will eventually come out of this bin and be filed away. So I've got my brand new ones that I need to use, and some other favourite ones that I know I've got upcoming projects, YouTube videos or workshop kits to do. And I love these fridge bins. You can get them from Kmart. I actually got some from a variety store, and they're, I think, a little bit sturdier, but the Kmart ones work really well. So the last thing I'm going to show you today are my dies. Now this box is really heavy and it's really hard to pick up and drag across my desk. I should have thought about that. These are the dies that I use the most. I have these envelope sleeves where I've cut up a magnetic sheet so that I can have my thin cuts back to back when the sheet comes and it's a bit too large to fit into my bin. I put all the tall ones at the back. So, and anything that is with a slim line, that goes in as well. So these are all here ready for me to use, and it doesn't have to be current things. These are ones that I love, that I know that I'm going to use over and over again, especially the tag ones. I've just gone through all of that. And then I keep some of the embossing folders up the back that I know that I love to use over and over again. And then at the front are the smaller ones, of course. So these are the brand new ones. I haven't put them in their own envelope yet because they are brand new. So if you're looking at getting these, get onto them now. The inside part is just 3 inches by 3 inches, and they create great card fronts, but they're also fabulous for scrapbooking. I've got my circle dies, triangle, any frames. This one I can now put in. I've got another storage system that's like a binder where I can slide things in. I'm going to put that one away, and I can just flip through and take out what I know I'm not going to use. But most of these, there's another Christmas one that's snuck in there, but dies weigh a lot, so you do need a sturdy bin to hold those. But these 2 bins just live on the edge of my desk all the time, ready for me to grab and start crafting with. So that's it for my stamp storage, and also a little peek at what I do for my dies. This system is working for me now. It's not exactly the neatest type system, and I do have to do a lot of flicking. I know I watched Erin's video the other day and she has categorized hers, so maybe I need to do that because I do tend to do a lot of flicking to find what I need to use. I hope today's video has given you some ideas on how to categorize your stamps and also how to sort them. I don't keep an Evernote list or anything like that because I do turn mine over quite a bit. I am thinking of doing that, but I've got so many I have to categorize that I think I'd rather spend the time crafting. But that's just me. But I do quite love flipping through my stamp sets, and I do love that we have envelopes that fit those sorts of things. Don't forget to check out the playlist link below. Just click on See More where the description is. Thank you so much for tuning in today. As always, happy crafting and bye for now.